Place and time and space. Place and time and space. Place and time and space. Place and time and space.
People, it's a distraction. People enjoy sharing.
Keep breathing. Just report whatever's going on. 2, 1.
I know weird stuff might be a trigger for you. Weird stuff might be a trigger for you.
Weird stuff is a trigger for you.
I'll protect you.
Be a trigger for you.
Weird stuff is a trigger for you.
I got you. Safe and secure.
And I know weird stuff might be a trigger for you.
Hello everybody, how's it going? I know it's been a minute, right? It's really been a minute. We had to go into hiding, basically. Trying to do the research we're doing, it's like, there's nothing weird about it, okay? I'm your boy, Little Ticky. Basically what's been going on is like really crazy stuff, and I had to go into hiding. I had to leave LA, and so I'm here. I'm joined by some of our friends. Some of them we don't really want to dox who they are. Some of them are willing to be a little bit more open, but we're all in hiding right now. We're all on the move, and so I'm coming to you right now, like from an undisclosed location, and I don't, and I think most of the guests will be tonight, but what's been going on lately is like it's all kind of coming to a head, right? And so, I hope you're here still tuning in. I know it's been like 2 weeks at least since we've been, on the move, and I didn't have internet. It's hard to do it. They don't let you have internet here often, so. But let's get to it, eh? I mean, I got some guests. I got Jimmy Zero, who, again, he's going to be revealing himself for the first time. So it's like, we got a mix here, and then we've got my other guest who's a little bit, I don't know if they want to say who they are, but, okay, so, and then we're going to open up the lines tonight, so if you want to call in, please call in, okay? We got a lot to talk about, there's a lot of things going on. I think we don't want to make this about us, because we know that what's going on right now isn't affecting everybody, okay? And so, that's really the point of this. So let's get to it. Here we are. We got Jimmy Zero up top, and then, do you want to just...
Hey there, Mr. Tick.
Okay.
It's great to be back here. I'm coming to you from an undisclosed location. It's great to finally be on camera instead of not being able to share my identity, my face with you. Finally, you can see me. I am here in this lovely background, in this desert location, undisclosed.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I am here and I am safe. My son, he picked me up in a van last episode that you saw me. So I'm just grateful to be here with you, Mr. Tick, and your guests. I'm very, very grateful.
Right, yeah, I mean, same here. I had a shack up, in this place I'm in, and it's very temporary, everything's very temporary right now, and there's a lot going on, and, we're trying to recreate, the Nothing Weird Studios right now. It's gonna take us a second, it's like, we gotta find a good base, for a compound, and so,
Well, that makes sense, Captain Coyote disappeared, and we lost him in the mix of all the turmoil over the past couple of months. So it's kind of a difficult situation. It's just hard to put a pin in it.
Absolutely. And then so see if our other guest wants to say hi. Yeah, it's like we don't want to dox them. Okay, it seems like they might have some technical difficulties. He says, they're probably still putting on like the voice mod because It's a big thing. People don't know this about the show, right? Like, I don't have an English accent, obviously. It's a modification to my voice to keep my identity hidden, which is the case. We supply this for many of our guests, but we do have a contingent of fans and, people who work in the studio who are British too, so it gets confusing, but in this case, it's like, we're really trying to, like, hide who we are, because what's going on is, I can't even get into it very much, right?
Well, and that makes a lot of sense, Mr. Tick, because for the first time, I'm able to not have my voice modified, not have my visual appearance modified. This is me. I am here. This lovely desert ranch that I am on, Span Ranch, and no association with Stan Ranch, because I know we all love Stan Ranch, but the great thing is I can be here naked and exposed to you all. I'm just here, just kind of hanging out, doing my thing, and I never got to do that before. I'm the company with my son that I may or may not have worked for certain sleeping things, or some of the sci-fi films that I did in the 1980s, or any of the government offices that I may have held in the past. I can't talk about those things, but what I can say is this is me. I am here for you, Mr. Tick, and your guests, and I am willing to. I'm willing to be here in this lovely desert, undisclosed location, and
I really appreciate your
I just
vulnerability
want to be a
and
part
trust.
of your program.
It's a matter of trust, right? It's like we have to develop these networks.
It really is.
Yeah, I feel like it's something where people don't have any more trust. That's why I make the investments in Bitcoins, because I don't trust anybody anymore, right? And so.
Right, and you have every reason to not trust anybody, because who can be trusted these times? You could end up like with a pillowcase over your head. Somebody picks you up in a van, and it's not like a van that you want to get into. It's a van that you don't want to get into, and suddenly you have a pillowcase over your head, and that's not a good situation you want to get into.
No, and I don't think anybody wants to be in that kind of situation. And then, so speaking of, I think our friend might have had something similar happen to them. Do you want to talk about?
Hello, thank you for having me on. I'm very happy to be here tonight. Coming from, this is a little one-bedroom cabin. Been about 3 weeks now. Not able to step outside.
And this is not because of quarantine, people. This isn't have anything to do with COVID.
This is very real.
Yeah.
The drones have been circling. You can hear them buzzing. They've attacked my electrical box multiple times. I blame a lot of the technical difficulties that we've been having on them as well. But I'm very happy to be here and talk about it. What I think is very important. Going into hiding, there's reasons for that, but I don't know if most people quite understand how serious it can get.
I don't think so either. Most people don't actually have to go into hiding, right? They just live their lives and think everything's going to be okay, because what they're doing is they're not really like supplying the kind of information that people like we are, and so
they're not doing anything. I'm honored to speak with people of the caliber of yourself and the little puppet.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Well, what was your alias again there, puppet?
That's our friend Jimmy Zero. Jimmy, we're having a hard time hearing you now. What's going on?
This is typical.
Jimmy's muted, I think, on accident. He might have muted himself.
No, it's not an accident. This is not us. This is not an accident.
No.
I've had my electrical.
Okay. You know what it was. You know what it was. It was the powers that be. They were trying to suppress me. So here I am. It
Okay.
is me, Jimmy Zero. I have been on this program previously. I did not disclose my face. Now I am disclosing my face. Now I am showing you who I truly am. This is the man.
Yeah.
My company that I had.
Yeah.
I am unmasked. This is me. You can see. I am pink in the flesh. I am here.
You're getting some Arizona sun, I can see. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I am a bit sunburned. If you can't tell, it gets hot out here.
So are you doing a homestead out there? I kind of wanted to ask you about that. You're doing a homestead, and it's for people who are really engaged in science, basically, and it's like you're doing this thing where people can go out there and buy RV land as like what people used to call preppers, right? It's like a bad word these days, but being a prepper.
Well, I think you've nailed it, Mr. Tick. It started with a couple of my cousins. They have particular needs, and what it was is we had certain narratives that were sort of coalescing, and we just kind of found a similar interest in having firearms and explosives and a large supply of potatoes that we could grow. So I think really what just happened is it was a mutual understanding. So I have some friends that are on the compound. I mean the ranch. We're just here together growing. Potassiums. Potatoes. Not explosive potatoes in any way, shape, or form. We're just here on the ranch.
And I mean, so
we're just regulars. Like we're us, U.S. regulars. Like we're not trying to be like a sovereign nation. We're just here. We're not like the Bundys, at this point or anything. Like we're more like Al Bundy, but we have some friends, and they may call into the show at some point. And they have very particular opinions about like Marilyn Manson or just certain things of explosives and potassium nitrate. So but we're out here on to
this
answer
show
your
is explosive.
we're doing
Mate.
great.
So what happens?
Like, can you see my cousin
Kurt
back there on the
Levi
quad?
has a lot on that.
Back there on the quad.
Yeah. Oh.
He's riding the quad. Look at
Just
him.
doxed you.
Look at him go. Look at him go. Oh damn. Oh damn.
Oh well.
Damn Andy. Damn, he broke.
I wanted to spill the beans.
That was great.
But I don't know if anybody heard it. But
Andy, you can't do that. You can't do that to a saguaro cactus. You can't do that to a saguaro cactus, Andy. That will get the feds after us, Andy. You can't fuck with the. No, you can't fuck with the saguaro cactus, Andy.
Yeah. Okay.
Andy. Don't do that.
He's climbing up the Joshua tree.
Damn it.
Don't say his name. Just a reminder to everyone, we don't want a not dead name, but we don't want to say anyone's real name on here. Just a reminder. Thank you.
Damn it, Andy! Don't!
Yeah, no, it's a total mistake, mate. I didn't do that.
No!
Why?
Yeah, no, I just. Yeah.
I noticed he's very pink.
He's very pink. He's getting a lot of sun. He's like a little worm.
Oh!
Andy.
Andy, why are you not like it's get Costco where you could ride over me with the quad of the Salton Sea, you bastard! Damn it, Andy!
I'm just a little concerned that we're...
No!
I'm just a little bit concerned.
Andy!
How pink he is. It's
damn it!
It's just a clear indication that he doesn't
I'm all sunburned.
that he's not from Arizona.
It's not very healthy.
you can get information like this.
It's not healthy at all.
Still, and if one of us isn't staying.
I'm just trying to run a. Did I tell you, Mr. Tick, I have a new social media network I'm trying to start. It's way better than like Mastodon or anything. It's it's really good. I got some of the nieces and nephews
just
on
plug
there
it down.
so
Yeah,
far.
we can plug that before we do a quick commercial break.
The
Let's do
Marilyn
that.
Manson main channel. It's so tight.
Okay,
It's
let's
so
do that.
tight.
Let's
You have no idea.
plug
So
your
good.
channel because this is a part of the Nothing Weird Family Network, right? So
Don't mention your family members.
yeah, don't dox your own family members, mate. People, you got creeps looking those people up on the internet, finding their OnlyFans, and then they're jerking off to them. And you don't want that to happen to your sister or your mother, alright? It's like, that's why you don't put your own information out on the internet.
It's already happened to my several of my sisters. It's hard, and that's the joke. But it's not a joke actually. It's real.
No, it is.
I'm just gonna say that I think sex work is fucking bullshit.
Well, we'll get back to what kind of work you do after the commercial break. But did we want to mention maybe like you were gonna say Zero, some of your company. What's this new network?
So that's the thing. It's a new non-Mastodon. It's actually Mastodon at the same time. So what it is, I call it the Rick Moranis Network. So it's not me, and it's not affiliated with Rick Moranis. Hold on a second.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do a quick little break first, and then we'll come back to this.
No, it's a good network. Annie, RickMoranis.com, Mimesphere.org, alt radio, tyrant radio. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right.
God knows there's nothing weird about it. God knows there's nothing weird. God knows there's nothing weird. Oh, God knows there's nothing weird about it. God knows there's nothing weird. Oh, there's nothing weird.
Okay, we're back. There's nothing weird about it. I'm your host, The Tick. Okay. And I'm being joined here by Jimmy Zero, who is wandering in the desert. And then we've got our other mate here.
Yeah, you could just call me, Yellow Lamp.
Yellow Lamp.
That's my real name.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And, what the fuck? Alright. Yeah, and so, wanted to talk to
I just wanted to,
yeah.
one thing I wanted to bring up. I mean, and maybe we can make the show a little bit about just, how to keep yourself safe, how to protect yourself from, like the internet. Anyone can find anything. They can zoom in, they can look for things, details, small details in the background. Just the idea that Zero is so pink, someone might then be able to narrow down, oh, he's not from Arizona. He's not from there. He got a sunburn, so you put a warm on there, that sort of stuff. Just want to caution everyone.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you're putting in all of your compost heaps, and you're putting in your solar panels, and you're waiting for the guy that's supposed to regulate.
Yeah. Well, you guys keep doing this too, where you start,
difficult.
you're talking about the food, and it's like we're trying to use that as an encrypted line of messages and communication, but you keep on talking about it. But anyway, it's like, look, that's what we're doing for work, okay? We're making potatoes, right? That's what you do, right? You're a farmer. An organic farmer. You're an organic farmer in Salt Lake City, which is, you're really pushing against the tide. Right? Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful...
Are you talking to me,
that's
Mr. Tick, or are you
where I was
talking
trying to talk to...
our friend, from
Mr. Kurt here.
Sonic Youth here.
Yeah.
No, well, I think we passed the test. No, neither of us are from Salt Lake. No information given.
Okay, yes, yeah, play is hard to get, right? It's like, I've seen the videos you make, mate. It's like, I know what you're into, and I think, see, this is about a thing when we need to we need to be really careful about what kind of breadcrumbs we leave on the internet, okay?
You really gotta watch out. Hey, Zero, how are the folks doing?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, doing super good now. You know, after being like without duct tape on any part of my body or any part of my family's body, it's doing super well. Thank you for asking, sir.
And your sister?
Sister, well, one of them is still in a duct tape kind of situation, but we have a live camera deal on that, so, you know. But the other one, no longer in that situation, so that's actually super good. Like, that's something that we're very thankful for.
I just want everyone to, notice. I just want everyone to, take note. It's absolutely perfect, Zero. Disinformation, confusion, information, that's the way to answer. When someone asks you where you, think your personal information, you got to confuse, use disinformation. It was perfect.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing. You have to deflect. You have to form some kind of like a meta narrative that has kernels of the truth, like breadcrumbs, like the fake bacon bits, but they're not actually bacon. They're just like the fake soy bits, and you feed those back in the breadcrumbs. And so the Hansel and the Gretel, who is the person who doesn't know what's happening, they pick up on those and they get poisoned by the shark in the water, and they end up in that movie, like the underwater thing where they all die at the end. And that's what you want to do. I mean, I know it sounds cruel, but that's actually what you want to make happen.
I totally agree. I mean, and going back to the Hansel and Gretel thing, I think when people ask me any details about my home, I usually try and throw them off, tell them that it's made out of candy. Made out of gingerbread, and they give you a strange look, but usually, if somebody's an undercover agent or trying to get information out of you, you can see in their eyes the disappointment when you say that.
Well, and that's the thing, and you look on the FBI surveillance van, and you wonder what that's about, and you're like, what, is that some kind of Reddit meme or something? But really, it's that it is the FBI, and these things are actually happening. So you either become a pawn, you become a patsy, or you participate, and hands across the yellow soaked river. That's how it works.
Right. Hello. You're on the air. How's it going?
It's going. How are you doing?
Well, like, we're just talking about a lot of crazy stuff right now.
So you're doing fine.
We're doing
Either caller, do you have any thoughts about? Do you just speaking of like some of the recent?
Hello.
It's Jimmy Zero here.
Hello.
Do you have any thoughts about Marilyn Manson in general right now with the recent scandal?
Jimmy
Nothing
Zero.
worried about it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, we've been talking about this thing called family values conspiracy. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Oh.
And Marilyn Manson's like a huge part of it, right? And like, so, and then what's happened recently with him, and so, I mean, if is that what you were like wanting to talk about? Is that what you called in for? Do you know much about what's going on with basically what happened with Marilyn Manson? Like, did he?
Is that your real voice too? I'm just looking out for you.
The Family Values Tour has nothing to do with Marilyn Manson, so.
Well, that's what I think you might be a little bit wrong, but.
Is this
So no, like see what's going on here. So you're familiar with Rick Rubin, right? And like Limp Bizkit and all there's all.
Well, I believe our caller he has some. He has something.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what?
I don't think Marilyn Manson has anything to do with
what are you saying, Galt?
I think the unfortunate circumstance with Marilyn Manson has everything to do with a buyer's remorse situation.
Okay, can you elaborate
buyer's
on that?
Remorse, is that like a weird
like I bought the CD?
Like a conspiracy thing, or what are you talking about?
That is the concept that if you were going to date Marilyn Manson, you kind of know what you got when you're going into it. Have you ever seen the Saint video from Marilyn Manson?
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Smooth. Very smooth guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video?
Yeah.
I think so. The one that he's got the titties, but he doesn't have any nipple.
Yeah, he's a real sexy.
Well, if you were familiar with that video, before I had seen that video before. I am married. And have you ever, if you've seen that video before, I showed my wife that video, and before I showed her that video, she said, you know what? There is a disclaimer for parental advisory before you could watch that video. And my wife said, I know what I'm getting into when I'm watching this right now. So,
you're a good lady.
So you're saying that this is why the family values conspiracy is related.
It's just like a condom.
Because you're saying that Marilyn Manson should have basically a tattoo that says parental advisory on top of his forehead.
It has to do with wearing a condom, you know.
He probably should, which the media since 1992 had actually implanted on his forehead. And we are now talking about an incident that happened 25 years after said implanted tattoo on his forehead. And we are now trying to vilify him for a pre-implanted tattoo on his forehead.
Okay. But see, it's like a nanodot, and it's a holographic image that not everyone can see, I think, is the issue. And we're talking about visibility these days, right? And representation. Who's seen and who isn't seen, okay? And what is important, and then we need certain parental advisories. People don't, not everybody has sunglasses like I do, that work like that they live, and I can see the corporate media trying to indoctrinate my mind, okay? And then I'm not susceptible to that, but... And so you need these to see those kinds of like nanodot tattoos as well, the holographics that come off of people sometimes. They're like, oh, I see you've got the red band. Oh, I see you've got, you know, the other blue band, whatever.
Well,
someone else on the line?
I'm just trying to say that anyone that is familiar with Marilyn Manson and what he does, you absolutely know what you're getting into before you get into it.
Yeah. So they're asking for it, basically, is what it's saying.
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense, you know. It's
the
like
recent allegations
I
against him, I would very much argue.
If you're gonna listen to Marilyn Manson,
part of
to sleep with
Dave
him,
Chappelle
you know what you're
joke.
getting yourself into.
Well, maybe it wasn't even a joke. It was just a statement that he made, where.
Who made a joke?
Well, it wasn't even a joke. Well, maybe it was a joke. Have you seen the Dave Chappelle stand-up where he was talking about certain things happening with people as far as like the Harvey Weinstein,
cable TV or something?
The hashtag Me Too movement, and all of that kind of things. What we're dealing with right now is there are definitely serious certain allegations that will that should be brought into light. But as far as somebody like Marilyn Manson, and then now with TikTok wanting to cancel Eminem, I mean, you kind of see what you're getting into there with it. The invisible parental advisory being put on their foreheads. If you don't want to pay attention to what you're getting into, you can't necessarily turn around and start blaming everybody for your problems because you decided that you were going to go down this route. I actually feel that, the Evan Rachel Wood situation and Marilyn Manson chasing the girl around in his house with an axe from Game of Thrones would actually indicate that you stepped into a parental advisory explicit lyrics individual.
So was it like it's like a haunted
because
house
you
or
don't
whatever?
like
Yeah. It's like when you went into one of those like spooky houses on Halloween and they're like, you got to sign like a 5-page waiver because they say, like, I'm going to push you over and I'm going to have an axe, I'm going to throw it in your face and I'm going to, whatever, I'll come out of the closet, cover in blood.
You can't.
San Diego has
the
coolest haunted houses.
Or you can't sit there and listen to something or watch a movie and pretend you think you know the person that you are now getting into a relationship with, and you choose to participate in the acts that they want you to do, and you now have regrets for those situations come 20 years later, 15, 10 years later. You can't vilify them for what you already knew you were already getting into. Does that make any sense?
I think I understand what you mean.
So
but Marilyn Manson's music is subversive, right? It's like trying to.
Yes, Marilyn Manson has very much said exactly the kind of person he is. Marilyn Manson has never been shy about the person that he is. He actually explains it a lot in his music. And definitely with the Evan Rachel Wood situation, if you had ever listened to the Eat Me, Drink Me CD, and if you had paid any attention to what he was talking about for that CD in particular and the songs he written for it, not only when he wrote those songs, but 1, 2, 3 years after it, that nobody wants to talk about. Manson has already explained himself, and we're now in this.
So what do you think that means? Do you just think that these women are out to like get him, or do you think it's because of something? Because personally, I think it's because there's something bigger going on, right? It's like an initiation into a process. But I don't want to lead you on. But do you have any opinion about it? Beyond just like the Me Too drama, right? Like, what's in it for everybody in that point? Like, does Marilyn Manson trying to make a comeback? Does he have to be transgressive in a new way or something like that?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that. Manson has disassociated himself with a lot of people that he used to know, and he just works with musicians to make new music. And his new album, he was actually with the Jennings. And
Michael Jennings?
No, with Jennings' son. And they made an album, and it was on the Billboard charts. And if you listen to that CD, he has a lot to say about things, but this is actually just I believe he's a victim of cancel culture,
Okay.
And
That's
he
what,
probably, unless he goes around about it to actually explain himself about it, but I feel like Manson's a person that says, I don't have to explain myself about these things. These things happened a long time ago. He's always been a person that says, I have put my life out there on the line already. I've been a consistent figure of controversy. Everybody has always tried to vilify me. And when you have someone like Wood, who is deeply associated with Amber Heard and what she has done to Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp is a personal friend of Manson, it's very easy to put a scapegoat out there and saying to your own self that you're ashamed of what you did in your past, and because I did these things in my past that I'm ashamed of, this is my scapegoat for it. And I actually really applaud Eminem for his new song against TikTok videos of shit that he said in his songs, and been like, hey man, you guys kind of knew what you're getting into. I have different personalities. I have different stuff going on.
That's right. I got different stuff going on. You guys
And,
don't quite get it.
You were a willing participant in these things. And it's no fault of mine. He never raped anybody. He did some crazy, fucked up shit to somebody that was, 19. And, if you were with somebody that was fucking nuts, and you're 19, and you wanted to participate in some certain things, and then you're embarrassed about
Girls
it
who
later.
way too much eyeliner and smoking cigarettes. It's like hanging out at Manson's house.
This culture, this culture that we're living in now is a perfect scapegoat to vilify someone else instead of being responsible for your own decisions.
That's right.
and that I really think that's what this is.
And it's really awesome.
And
I like that.
a lot of people disagree with that because we are in the cancel culture. But I'm on the field of, either you're going to cancel everybody or you're not.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got some kind of form of debt.
I mean, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
We are, fucking go ahead and look up what Elvis Presley had done to fucking young girls. Let's drag it all the way back.
Yeah.
Let's see what all these other people have done.
That's what the family values conspiracy is about, man. I'm surprised you're not familiar, but it's like it's about that. That's basically, it's like how far back does this go, man? It's like it goes.
Yeah, like Lincoln raped like 14.
Well, it's all about.
Yeah.
I'm not, the family, the conspiracy, the family values thing. I get it. I'm not gonna. I'm a big proponent of the song "Polly" by Nirvana. So he made that because somebody, a bunch of people, a bunch of people raped some girl, and at a Nirvana show, and her name was Polly, and
that's why
he made a song about that.
It's polyamory.
Exactly. Could it be more obvious she's polyamorous?
How far do we want to vilify people for things that they have done in the past, where now, growing up and being adults, you no longer want to partake in? I mean, Manson's married now. He disassociated himself with his longtime bassist Twiggy Ramirez over raping a girl. and he just wants to make some music. And you know, this Evan Rachel Wood thing is. I mean, look.
I think there's some like.
I don't.
I think there's some
I don't wanna
kabbalistic
take
stuff
part-
going on with even her name. Evan Rachel Wood. Like, let's break it down. You know, it's like we need to get the crow on back on, because it's like I could break this down numerologically into what each of those letters are, right? And then you can start taking it and be like, okay, Evan, even a wood, like even a what is it? Even something wood. It's like it's got something to do with a dick, right? And so. Rape, it's something's in there, right? It's okay. It's like, again.
The name, her name is circumstantial.
No, man, no such thing as coincidences, okay? No such thing as coincidence.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as Manson goes, you know, I
mean, do you think about it? There is a reason why his name is Manson in the first place. He's named after Charles Manson. His parents named him after Charles Manson, okay? Like...
Yep.
And Marilyn Monroe.
Well, it was over Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson, the two biggest icons of the 60s. So he built his name on that.
Rapists, by the way.
But as far as...
She raped JFK.
You know, completely vilifying somebody. Manson is a perfect target for this. They're doing it all the time. They're still doing it. We haven't even heard about this Manson situation in the media on TMZ or anything else.
No one's come to any conclusion about it. So, oh, just throw the shade and let's get on with it.
I just think we need to stop looking to scapegoat out of decisions that you didn't like.
What kind of animal would you prefer? No more goats. What do we want then?
I would probably choose a giraffe, because a giraffe has a long neck that can look over the trees and see what's coming ahead.
Okay, yeah. I like that. I like that.
I like that a lot.
So we can sit here all day and argue about, oh, Manson did this and this guy did that, and
but at the end of the day, it's like.
But at the end of the day, you kind of knew what you were getting into when you went and did it. And you know, I'm going back to my same point in the beginning, is we've all made choices and decisions that we do not appreciate that we did. And that doesn't mean that we need to vilify in somebody's career over it.
I think you're right. Well, I appreciate the call. Okay?
All right. Well, they wanted me to call in, and they wanted me to explain some things.
Who you talking about?
Yeah. Who's that in the background?
Yeah, you got like, are you working for a call center or something? They wanted you to call in. Is this a part? I think this might be a part of the program. I think this is a part of the program.
Are you in America? Are you in America?
Yeah.
Okay. See, but my friend and I are like in this program, and it's like they're doing this thing. It's like this experimental way of living, and sometimes like you don't know if like the phone call you're getting is like from a bucket or like a real person, and it's like this it's like a weird thing. So
well, I had somebody call me the other day, ask me if I wanted to buy solar panels, but I live in an apartment, so
yeah,
I get it.
Okay.
Obvious, yeah. It's so obvious and like fluid. The CIA just can't do a fucking thing right.
They're trying to fuck with you, mate. It's like that's why I'm fucking incognito right now on the run. So, all right, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Just make sure we keep a record of that number.
That was wild. That was great. I mean, it's really important to hear that kind of perspective, because you really, if there's really anything that's going to get like shut out of the mainstream conversation, it's going to be that, right? And so
I apologize for that caller.
no, what I apologise for is that I don't think that he
Mr.
can hear
Tate,
you. He couldn't hear you, unfortunately. That was the only problem. That was the
Right.
only problem. Don't get no. That was perfect.